Hello there, Site-42 staff, as well as those of you from the greater SCP Foundation. And welcome to another After Hours with Dr. Sherman, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. Hello, yes, let me do the intro. You little excited puppy. I know there's people on the internet, and they want to talk to you more than they want to talk to me. But I at least get to say hello. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. Welcome to another After Hours with Dr. Sherman. Yes, we are late again. We are going short again. Things have been busy around here at the SCP Foundation. But you are part and parcel of today's stream, so I guess you are welcome. As I have done for the last... Here, you can take your treat and wander off. As I have done for the last year and counting, because the daily stream streak must remain strong. I'm here to open my office door to you, the SCP Foundation staff, to answer your burning questions about this dark and mysterious place of employment we call the SCP Foundation. So whether you have questions about the anomalies we contain, the staff who contain them, the groups of interest who try to stop us from containing them, or hypothetical containment procedures about anomalies that fall outside of the SCP Foundation's purview, perhaps from a different multiverse or pataphysical narrative level, i.e. fandom. Either way, we are here for the next 30 minutes to an hour to discuss our stream subject as well as have some general Q&A. But before we begin that, let me start with a little housekeeping. DJ, congratulations on being the #1 most punctual member of today's Containment Hazard Assessment team, i.e., congratulations on being first chatter. Meanwhile, CD23, Amber, Sleepless Dragon, 369 Destroyer, Titanborn, Legendary Doge, Robin St. Pierre, hey, it's been a minute. Hope you've been doing well. Good to see ya. Puppet Boy, Titanborn, Freud. Everyone who I have just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here as members of Site-42 on YouTube. We appreciate your membership and your service. Furthermore, Kevin, 100 stars, Kota, Corvus, Epic, and Lazzy, as well as Cyrus the Weirdo. It's been a minute for you as well. Hope you've been okay. All of you who I just named, thank you for being here punctually, and thank you for being here today, just for being you. Now, today's stream is sponsored. It is sponsored by the ongoing effort to manufacture the Dr. Sherman Site Director Edition plushie. You currently have 15 days to order this before it is gone forever. There will be only one printing of this. So head to the link that is pinned in the chat or in the VOD of this description of the VOD and get yours while the time is ripe. We thank you if you choose to support the channel in this manner. Now, for today's stream subject, and I will get to the donations in the general Q&A after said stream subject. You know, Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, as well as Grandma J, who is just making her way around a little waddle because she is a sleepy old 17-year-old girl. And of course, the most excited baby in the Foundation. Well, they are not the only dogs that are close to my heart these days. Jay is 18. My mistake. Old Lady Jay is 18 years old. But I also finally am catching up with the game Hades 2. I was a big fan of Hades 1, but I'm also a console heathen. And so I had to wait for it to come out on the PlayStation. But now that I'm playing it, I am disappointed. Minor spoilers for Hades 2. That at least in the beginning, you don't get to pet the dog. Ah, yes, there are other animals. They're adorable animal friends. But Cerberus, I have not gotten to the part where you can pet. And that is very disappointing to me. Every time I find that three-headed hellhound refuses my hand. Sad. And so to make up for it, and to bring joy to all of you, we are having the What's Up SCP Dog stream. Did you know that on the SCP database, if we happen to check the tags for canine, because canines get their own specialty tab on the SCP database, there are a total of 147 anomalous dogs. 147 SCPs are dogs. And so, why don't we take a moment today as our stream subject to introduce ourselves to some of the highlights of the SCP Foundation dog family. Starting with the only dog who is a member of SCP Foundation staff outright, Dr. Kane Pathos Crow. Not actually an anomaly. Instead, a talking, functioning researcher dog. And remember, you gotta remember the suit. Kane Pathos Crow does walk on two legs, according to most photographs. Haven't seen Kane in a while. Wonder how he's been doing. But if you don't want to count Kane Pathos Crow because not technically an SCP, that is a researcher after all, well, don't worry. There's still plenty of anomalous dogs left to see. Now, of course, the desk here has certain opinions on SCP dogs. And so I could not get through this stream in good conscience if I did not introduce you to a couple of those puppo fixations of our friendly moderator desk. Starting with SCP number 1 doggo. The number 1 doggo right here. Ooh, make it big. Yes, we'll have a cat stream later on. You said you wanted to pet Cerberus. I meant the three-headed dog from hell, but if you brought a bunny upstairs, then I guess this would be a good substitute. Cerberus. Hello there, little bunny guy. This is Cerberus the bunny. Notice only one head, not guarding the gates of hell.
Very spotted.
Very spotted. Very spotted for those recognizing that Cerberus means spot. So yes, very spotted this Cerberus. So yes. Description, SCP-001-J, I'm sorry, Indigo, number 1 doggo. That's very unprofessional of documentation. I'm going to have to take that off of your good behavior list for so many unprofessional markings in this document. SCP-001-J is a male Siberian Husky, approximately 18 months old, and currently employed as Dr. Eugene Holland's service canine. Are you sure, Dr. Holland? Are you lying about that for having your pet on the job? It's against the rules to do that, don't you know? Apparently, Indigo displays extraordinary intelligence and dexterity. I'm not believing very well much of what this document says. Those with specific occupations and intentions, such as home invaders, muggers, suspicious postal workers, Jehovah's Witnesses, and so on, should exhibit mild caution while in close proximity. According to Dr. Holland, the canine can tear bad guys to shreds, but would never hurt a fly elsewise, even if it flew into his ear. Otherwise, no security detail or responsive containment is required. Listen, Puppy of Interest 42, I understand that we're talking about an SCP called SCP number 1 Doggo, and you are upset to not have been the number 1 Doggo. Oh, you're not upset because you are a very humble and very modest dog who would not claim such lofty titles? Interesting lore. Interesting lore. The chat wants you to have this. Say thank you, chat. Thank you, chat. So yes, I don't actually believe there's anything particularly anomalous about SCP-001-J, codename number 1 Doggo, except for Dr. Holland's unprofessional behavior when interfering with the database entry of SCP-001-J, codename number 1 Doggo. Oh, until it stands on its back legs and starts singing Italian opera. When SCP-001-J stands up on its back legs and sings opera, that is particularly anomalous. So yes, at least we have discerned that the dog is anomalous. Good work, SCP number 1 Doggo. Welcome to containment. But we can go deeper. SCP-023, codename the Black Shuck, is a very, very basic folklore Black Shuck anomaly brought whole hog onto the SCP database because Black Shucks are public domain folklore entities, much like other folklore entities that you can steal from the public domain and put on your Creative Commons website. Now, furthermore, there is also SCP-1111, codename the White Dog, which, if we look at the bottom of the Black Shuck article, it is thought that perhaps 1111-1 might be a variant of the Black Shuck. So could the White Dog and the Black Dog be related? I will have to have you do further research into these anomalies. But then, we need one more anomalous dog to cap out our menagerie of the day. And what I'm going to bring you now, I accidentally discovered while looking other SCP doggos up for today's stream. SCP-5769, codename All-Seeing Eye Dog. All-Seeing Eye Dog, SCP-5769, looks to be a golden retriever of non-anomalous make until it opens its mouth and starts talking. After very much interviewing with SCP-5769, it was discovered that this dog contains all knowledge. SCP-5769 knows everything, speaks every language. Unfortunately, it does not like us at the SCP Foundation very much, so it does not cooperate with us, and very often answer questions that would be of use. Grr. Have an all-seeing dog, all-knowing dog, and it's not going to tell us anything. Bad dog. I'm sorry. I said that and I regretted it immediately. The dog is not bad. I am upset that I even said such a thing. I apologize profusely to the chat for my anger and outburst. And so, to celebrate our SCP dogs, the ones we have covered or the ones we have not covered, all of them are getting access to SCP-1994, codename The Ball! And so, have fun, all of you SCP doggos. All right. Now that we have taken a gander at the SCP doggos of the day, we have now made it to the general Q&A. So I'm going to check through the donations real quick, and then we are going to have general Q&A for the next 15 to 30 minutes, 15 to 45 minutes. Starting with 100 stars love. Thank you for sending sparkles to the containment hazard assessment team. I am sure they enjoy the sparkle. Intern Frost, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a hot dog on your way past the commissary. Hey, did you find the apple I conjured into your house? If not, look for frost patches. Why is the apple cold? Regardless, I'm not going looking for an apple. In fact, I would go to find the apple by figuring out where I go the least, because obviously the apple is repellent to me as a doctor. Teddy Boys, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a hot cat on your way past the commissary. Can I info dump to you about an SCP idea I had? Well, Teddy Boy, feel free to do so, although I do not promise any intense critique. Due to the amount of people we have here following Site-42, I unfortunately can't do article critiques. If I did one for one person, I'd have to do them for everybody, and then we'd never get any work done around here. But I might give you a small nugget of wisdom or first impression, if you do so. Alonzo the Blue, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure the Containment Hazard team will appreciate the double sparkle. Robin St. Pierre, thank you for your 21 months as a Mobile Task Force Captain here at Site-42. We appreciate your long-term membership and service. Hey, Dr. Sherman, if the Foundation were to attempt to contain Doctor Who, how would they do so? And how likely would they be to succeed? I have been trying to contain that timey-wimey bastard for a while now. And unfortunately, that frickin' time-traveling jester, maxing clown, always seems to escape our best laid traps. Very Bugs Bunny of it, you might say. Do remember, the Pandorica was invented to contain the Doctor, and it was a paradox-proof containment cell. And yet, the time Lord managed to ass-pull a exit from the paradox-proof box, not once, but twice, because they made a second Pandorica in the radio plays. Or the novels, I forget. Point is, shouldn't have happened. The writers are giving way too much credence to that alien. And so, one day we will. But today is not that day. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Speaking of anomalous dogs, I saw the Black Shuck. Where did you see SCP-023? Did you have any sort of interaction with said doggo? I believe 023 is... Tut, 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 tut. Walled off intersection of two corridors at site redacted with at least 3 meters of space. So, unless they're transferring it here to Site-42 for a bit, I don't see how you would have run into it unless you went hunting for it. Amber, thank you for sending a floating heart to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they feel the love. 369 Destroyer, thank you for your first donation of today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself some chicken wings on your way past the commissary. 420 on your orders. I tried to test SCP-1994-J with Dr. Crow. I got Keter duty for a week, but he did chase the ball! Totally worth it, no grudge. I am glad we do know that even a professional such as Dr. Kane Pathos Crow cannot resist SCP-1994-J. That is it's actually good to have in our back pocket. It's sort of like Batman. You want to be prepared to take out any of your fellow staff members who might become a problem in the future. And so, good to know that 1994-J works as a distraction. Oswald the Scarlet King, thank you for sending sparkles to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they enjoyed the sparkle. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. My designation is Frostbite. Frost appears around things I've conjured for some reason. Once picked up, the frost disappears. I can't wait to be walking through my office and comically slip upon a patch of ice because I did not realize that that apple was nearby. I'm sure this will be very funny for the guys in security. Hello, newbie to the Foundation here. I have a question. Is there any SCP that would allow one to receive incredibly bad luck, thus allowing them to invest in companies they hate, tanking the company? Huh. When it comes to bad luck, when it comes to probabilistic anomalies, Intern Void. I mean, SCP-7000 is a walking probabilistic anomaly of bad luck happening specifically to him. SCP-7000 is SCP researcher William Wallace Weddle. Code name for the SCP is literally the Loser. But, do we have a bad luck anomaly? Oh, wait. I read somewhere that Dr. Weddle's luck is transferable. I forget the name of the tale, but you could feasibly transfer the SCP-7000 effect to someone else if you wanted that person to suffer. I wonder if Sumerian could cancel out Weddle. Desk, I do not believe that would be the case, because Dr. Weddle's anomaly specifically causes bad luck to happen to him. Meanwhile, Dr. Sumerian's probabilistic good luck only happens to him when it comes to a life-threatening situation. So I do believe their luck anomalies would not interact, strangely enough. SCP-7000 would try that, the company would succeed, and then the stock's money would be stolen somehow before he could use it. That does sound like the bad luck that SCP-7000 would have. I agree, 369 Destroyer. How does an SCP get assigned a number? Intern Echo Nest. It's actually quite simple. It is quite simple. So, if you go to the SCP database and you go to the upper left corner sidebar, then you will see this section called SCP by series. And considering that all of the old series are pretty much 100% full, we need to go to SCP Series 10. Once you start reading SCP Series 10, you will see that eventually we start to hit access denieds. So what happens is people start writing their SCP, and during the writing process, you typically just write SCP XXXX. That way you can copy and paste and change it to the new one once you're done writing your article. You pick one of the ones that has access denied, you put the title in there, and you post your article on that page link. Et voila! A new SCP is added to the database under that number. It is proper etiquette to not write your SCP with a number in mind, because by the time you are finished with that number, it might not be available. Or by the time you're finished with your anomaly, the number might already be taken. Otherwise, if you do need a specific number, you should write it hella quickly. That way, you get your article to the number that's appropriate for it. Excuse the mahogany greatness out of me, but knowledge of all by Dado? I didn't see that, but now I'm worried. SCP-9128, codename, yep, knowledge of all by Dado. SCP-9128 is a book titled The Book of All Things by Dado. Despite its size, 9128 has an infinite number of pages. 9128 is a dictionary containing all possible combinations of letters and their definitions. Oh, dear Lord. All right, let's take a look at the knowledge of Dado. A, the first letter of the alphabet. AA, abbreviation, Alcoholics Anonymous, a support group for alcoholics. AAA, small battery, often used in small electronic device. AAAA, onomatopoeia, yelling. AAAAA, onomatopoeia, yelling. AAAAA, onomatopoeia, yelling. AAAAAA, Astro Afro Antarctico Amera Asian Auto Association, a fictional roadside assistance service. AAAAAAA, onomatopoeia, yelling. AAAAAAAA, onomatopoeia, yelling for a long time. Multiple entries skip for redundancy. Thank you. 25 A's. Onomatopoeia, yelling for an extremely long time. Correction. Onomatopoeia, yelling for a very long time. Multiple entries skip for redundancy. 3,192 A's. Onomatopoeia, yelling for an extremely long time. This is the final definition where it all text fits on one page. And if we look at the footnotes here, so footnote. Footnote. It doesn't fit anymore. There seems to be no limit to the length of a word, therefore it is impossible to get past the A section through conventional means. Content found during its discovery provides evidence that 9128 contains all possible words. See addendum. Studies into the noosphere have shown that all definitions inside 9128 are correct. We cut some pages out. The weight and density did not change. We were able to cut a 7.3 centimeter, a 1.2 meter hole in a 7.3 centimeter book by drilling. We drilled 1.2 meters into a 7.3 centimeter thick book. Huh. I can't breathe. Help. Well, yes, Puppycorn, I assume you're being drowned in A's right now. Ah. Testing to determine how 9128 defines words. Test A. 9128 was brought into a total noospheric isolation chamber. Subject was told to define A87. God. A87. Footnote. As the letter repeated 87 times. Result, definition changed. Definition returned to previous when chamber was deactivated. Test B, subject was told all words longer than 10 letters don't exist. Transcript of SCP-9128. A, the first letter of the alphabet. A2, A to A10. Skip for redundancy. Ab. Improper spelling of ab. Test C. A joke was added to the popular TV show Redacted. The bit involved a character defining yelling for a very long time as at least 25 A's long. The bit was heavily promoted across social media through Foundation bots. 2 days after the episode aired, A25 changed to onomatopoeia, yelling for a very long time. Previously, A25 was defined as onomatopoeia, yelling for an extremely long time. Onomatopoeia, yelling for an extremely long time, is now defined as A31 and onwards. This would be an extremely easy and cheap way to study the noosphere. Too bad we can't actually use it. And then, of course, we have the Dado log. The log where Dado interviews or talks to somebody who's ordering a product, and then Dado always messes up the product. Let's see what happened. SCP-9128 was found along with a number of anomalous items at the residence of Redacted. No, just blank. Just no name. Just 2 quotation marks without a space in the middle. Codename of a minor deity. The following messages were recovered on a Redacted brand mobile phone. The model matches no known products from Redacted. Update. The model of phone was announced by Redacted 4 years after discovery. Blue voice talks first. Greetings, mortal. Sorry, you think you got wrong number. This is Dado. I know who I am speaking to. If you say so, what is it you want, mister? Names are for lesser beings. I seek a weapon. Knowledge. My foes cannot be defeated through violence. Okay, Mr. Lesser Beans. Dado has got you covered. What type of knowledge do you want? Do not mock me. No mock-up. Dado goes right to final product. I require knowledge of all things. Sure thing, Mr. Lasserbean. Dado has got you covered. Do not worry about take a long time to get started right away. Pet hamster type 220 word per minute. This is acceptable. I have received your product. It is of the utmost quality. Thank. Please leave review. Along with a phone, a tournament bracket for a local Scrabble competition was found. The bracket shows the nameless deity being eliminated in the first round, losing with 48 to 131 points. You got the book of all words, and you lost it, Scrabble? Also, just for your edification, here is the footnotes to this article. That's a lot. All right. Well, I'm glad you found that desk. That certainly enlightened us. So much knowledge. Coincidentally, one of our dogs was also the dog of all knowledge. So we have the dog of all knowledge and we have the book of all knowledge. Interesting coincidence. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Dr. Bob is knocked. Turns out I have ice fangs when upset. They're paralyzed, and to be fair, he took my apple. Please don't let him my cell again. Which Dr. Bob are we talking about? There's a lot of Bobs. There's a lot of Bobs. Researcher Dakota, thank you for your first donation to today's stream as well as being a member. Grab yourself a lemon spritzer on your way past the commissary. Who gave 999 a full Monster Energy drink? Someone who is going to perish soon. That's who. Hopefully that fixed the audio issue. T, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, and thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. We appreciate that effort because Ko-Fi only takes 3% of your donation, and YouTube takes 30% of every super chat. So we appreciate the effort for sure, for sure. Grab yourself a hot burger on your way past the commissary. The new Resident Evil game has got me thinking about how the SCP Foundation would secure, contain, and protect the world from the outbreak of various zombie infections thanks to groups of interest where they integrated into the Resident Evil timeline. Well, Umbrella Corps is really terrible about everything regarding releasing zombie viruses, plagues, experimental mutagens. It's honestly very frustrating. I do believe that if the SCP Foundation existed in the Resident Evil universe, we would just, well, the group of interests known as Gamers Against Weed calls us the janitors because we're constantly cleaning up anomalies. And I think that would be our role in that universe as well, unfortunately. We would need such an increase in budget. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Don't know, his tag said Bob, he got blonde hair though. All right, there's a lot of blonde Bobs, but suffice it to say, well, you need to take the unconscious Dr. Bob to medical and do not harm our researchers. That is not considered good behavior. Researcher Dakota, thank you for donating again to say. Could make the cure for cancer with the vending machine. That very much depends. Remember, it can't produce everything. It very often says out of range to things it cannot get a hold of. So it's more likely that would be the situation. Sleepless Dragon, thank you for sending a 100 to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will keep it 100 at your urging. Puppet Boy, I have seen your message. And as such, I have made the choice to showcase it now, even though it is not Fan Art Friday, because I am tickled pink at the work. You see, a few Fan Art Fridays ago, Puppet Boy delivered a piece of art that was, you know what, I'm going to pull it up to see if I can find it anyways. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Puppet Boy. Yes, that was easy enough. Fan Art Friday sneak peek. So, Puppet Boy made a piece of art a couple of Fan Art Fridays ago that was on my intrepid quest we spoke of earlier to finally contain the Doctor. And I said that was very, very good art. In fact, right now, it is the background of my phone screen because that is such cool art. But after Puppet Boy made this, Agent Goose had an idea. And the idea was, hey, what if the same thing, but it was also your intrepid journey to capture Spider-Man? And so, I had Puppet Boy make... we commissioned Puppet Boy. This is paid art. Fucking get him, bro! Get him! Get that webhead! I don't want pictures of Spider-Man. I want that Spider-Man in a box! Living in my jetpack era. Yes! Look at the rage! You didn't even see me coming! Oh, what's that in the background? Hair Club for Kids by Dedo? SCP-3802 billboard as an Easter egg? Is there not a Murphy Law Detective Agency billboard behind one of these two gentlemen? But unfortunately, it's hidden by the two gentlemen who are flying through the air. So yes, hell yeah, Puppet Boy. I will remember to show you, I will remember to send you the rest of the commission fee at the end of that. Thank you for your excellent work. All right. Distracted by cool art, I have now returned to the stream. Can't believe Dr. Sherman is in Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery. Well, thank you, Toad King Studios. I don't like to brag, but I am Spider-Man's arch nemesis. Constantly trying to contain that guy. You know, Spider-Man definitely would say that I am the most dangerous villain on the Spider-Man Rogue Gallery. I'm not tooting my own horn. This is what Spider-Man says, you know? Just, I assume. Puppet Boy, what do you mean? There is a 3999 reference. What are you talking about? So we had the Hair Club for Kids by Dado. Spider-Man, knowing that his greatest nemesis is going to capture him. What does that say up there? They're so small. There's a lot going up in that little corner there. We got the skies. Is that saying only, only, only up there? Is that what we're looking at? Is that a box of Tallaros the cereal? I hear they're jaw-droppingly delicious. Oh, sheesh. Jiminy sakes. Dakota, thank you for donating again to say, infect the Global Occult Coalition with perpetually moving itch. Ooh, devious. I like the way you're thinking. SCP-7781 is Spider-Man, at least the closest thing in canon anyway. 7781? I know we have the Spider-Man suit, and we have the Spider-Man president. Codename whatever a spider can. Jack Arthur Osborne, a genetically modified humanoid organism prior to containment 7781, was a known figure among its online community and moderator of the subreddit r spider porn. Please tell me that's just when they use porn colloquially as, ooh, look at this cool thing, and not literal. Please say it's not literal. Please say psych right now. Through currently unknown anomalous means, 7781 is able to alter and combine the genetic data of various existing arachnid species with each other, other animals, and inanimate objects in order to produce entirely new organisms of the genus Arachne. Photographs of these organisms, collectively designated -A, were posted to the aforementioned subreddit daily, often garnering significant attention from frequenters of the site. So it made a bunch of hybrid spiders, is what you're telling me. And I guess now we're taking over those spider babies. Interesting. Well, it is a man who is doing the spiders. So I guess that is close enough. Spider-Man president? Yes, Spider-Man president. That is another specifically Spider-Man related SCP. Spider-Man president. SCP-6421, which is codename 6421. The president of the Republic of Chile is Spider-Man. Well, that's right on the nose with it, isn't it? SCP-6421 is a phenomena that started in 2017 where billboards and posters in the Republic of Chile show that their current president is Spider-Man. And if you see the billboard, then you will start to believe that Spider-Man is the current president of the Republic of Chile. And so any other president will be not treated as president because they are not Spider-Man. Also, apparently, our protocol to handle this is Protocol 8469 Green Octavius. I see we're doing the heckin' references to Spider-Man here, too. We had an Osborn in the other article. We have the Octavius here. That is a lot of presidential happenings going on. Yep. Intern Rod, welcome to Site-42 staff. Thank you for subscribing. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, I'd say it, but I'd be lying. Sorry, bro. Bobby Boy, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member, as well as cool art. Yo. Grab yourself some Pocky on your way past the commissary. Thank you for the showcase, Doc. Can we look up SCP-6802? I guess we can take a peek at SCP-6802, especially since I'm already on the Series 7 list. Codename Soup dog. Well, I guess it fits into the theme of SCP dogs, so that makes sense. SCP-6802, codename Soup Dog. SCP-6802 exploring Site-64 during a seeking state. SCP-6802 is a large dog, most closely resembling a golden retriever. It wears a green harness and attached leash, which is superficially similar to those of service dogs, proclaiming 682 to be a soup dog. Researchers show no such division has ever been classified by the American with Disabilities Act, Britain's Equality Act of 2010, New Zealand's Dog Control Act of 1996, or other such political body. While the harness may be removed via traditional means, this appears to cause 6802 emotional distress and has been forbidden outside of testing. Let the dog wear its vest. 6802 behaves like a normal, non-anomalous dog until it enters a seeking state, which occurs randomly 3 to 4 times a week. During a seeking state, it seems to be in a state of considerable duress, often pacing, whining, and barking for attention. Upon viewing 6802, individuals will universally perceive 6802 as, quote, wanting soup. The individual will attempt to take hold of 6802's leash and walk it to find soup, prioritizing the safety of 6802 themselves and obtaining soup in that order. The seeking state will continue until 6802 locates soup in a form and temperature that is consumable. Upon finding soup, 6802 will begin forcefully inhaling it at intake speeds of up to 100 liters per second, approximately the rate of an average commercial fire hose. Upon consuming the soup, 6802 will re-enter a seeking state, continuing until it has inhaled a total of 120 liters of soup, which technically is only 1.2 seconds. At this point, it will return to normal behavior and will go back to its containment cell. If left in a seeking state, its need for soup will increase over time, eventually attempting containment breaches to obtain soup. The strength with which observers are compelled to help it also increases, eventually leading 6802 to becoming a class 4 mimetic hazard after approximately 3 hours of unattended seeking state. So, after a battery of tests, 6802's favorite soup was confirmed to be Campbell's classic chunky chicken noodle soup. And then we have VNP6802. Specification, golden retriever, which consumes anomalous amounts of soup at incredible speeds. Normalization protocols. VNP6802 cohabitates with a junior researcher at Redacted. Once a week, it is brought to Vanguard Site-76 to consume the contents of VNP348, which continually fills with VNP6802 is sated. So it is also going to eat the 348 soup. Someone asked about 348 soup. Captain Gilbert, you were correct. We are going to let 6802 have the happy anomalous soup. After each consumption, VNP348 manifests a small pictogram of a smiling dog being pet. So, 2 anomalies basically made for each other. SCP-6802 is the dog who wants soup. See, I was terrified going into that article because I was afraid that I was going to have to answer the question, what's soup dog? And I did not want the answer to that. All right, soup dog, you got me. You got my upvote. I hope you're happy. Soup dog. Site-42 staff, I regret to alarm you that we are currently 5 minutes from the end of stream. If you have any final questions, now is the time. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say, hey, Dr. Sherman, teleported a dog treat for Charlie. Well, Puppy of Interest 42 went out on a walkie with Agent Goose, the resident Site-42 animal wrangler. But I am sure that Puppy of Interest 42 will be very glad for said treat upon arrival back at base. Mm-hmm. Hey, Doc just got here, wanted to say hello. Well, intern Dixie, you just came to say hello. Hello to you. Doc, do you think that Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, feels the same way about Dr. Plush that we do about that thing? Is that why she barks? Well, it is hard to get into the mind of Puppy of Interest 42 without such anomalies as that music box from the previous stream. But perhaps if we could requisition it and have it transferred to Site-42 for a spell, we could introduce Puppy of Interest 42, codename Charlie, and the site director, Hardin. Ah, dust or something. We could introduce the two to each other and crank the music box to see if there is any interaction. Random question. If you submit fan art to Fan Art Friday, how likely is it to be shown? Intern T. Rose. Fan Art Friday submissions that follow the rules are guaranteed to be shown. We show all the Fan Art Fridays that fit the rules. Rule-breaking Fan Art Friday submissions are not shown. That is the easy answer. Kane Pathos Crow was turned into a human in the Doggoverse. Well, how unfortunate for Dr. Kane Pathos Crow to be isolated, species-wise, in either universe. And also being the only human in a universe of dogs. Better get that scooping arm ready. So no Sherman X Spider-Man fan art. Well, what do you mean by the X there? What does that mean, Toad King? What do you mean? If an anomaly is known for forgetting things and losing memories, but researchers need to know about its past to research and understand it better, what would they possibly cross-test with? Well, we could always utilize SCP-067 to find out their behind-the-scenes knowledge, even if they've forgotten it. SCP-067, that artist's pen, is quite useful for that. Amber, thank you for your first donation to today's stream, as well as being a member. Thank you for making the effort to go through the Ko-Fi. Grab yourself a chocolate bar on your way past the commissary. Des said something about Ko-Fiing for your anger management therapy. Winky face. I don't know what you're talking about. I have no need for anger management therapy. My anger is quite well managed and directed at those who are deserving. Thank you very much. Dr. Sherman, what would you do if I teleport to random places at random times? Well, intern Beecham, I would put a tracker on you, and we would have to get you, which would be very frustrating. But we would have to make sure we knew where you landed, amnesticize people who saw you appear out of thin air, and then return you to containment. It would be very cost intensive, but we got to do what we got to do. Because unfortunately, if we tried to decommission / neutralize you, what if your corpse still had the same powers? And so you teleported your dead body around all the time. Then we'd have to explain to people why a corpse just fell out of the sky and onto their lawns. Or what if we incinerated you, but your dust teleported everywhere at random times? And maybe that's just why I had a coughing fit. Because in our canon, you were incinerated, and now your dust made me cough, which is very frustrating. Why you gotta be like that? Making people cough and stuff. This is why we don't destroy anomalies. The Global Occult Coalition learned that with 1609. Hey, Dr. Sherman, what's the difference between the ISD, Internal Security Department, and the Ethics Committee? And does the ISD act like the police force of the Foundation? Let me see the specifics of the ISD on the database to be very clear. Internal Security Department, ISD. Blah, 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 blah. The funny thing here, all right, tasked with enforcing Foundation ordinances, policies, and laws of the Foundation, while operating incognito investigations of corruption, collusion allegations, ensuring information security and integrity within the Foundation. Additional tasks will be discussed with you when we meet at site, redacted tomorrow for at least one time. IA, Intelligence Agency. Records and Information Security Administration. My question as I start to get into the gum works of the Foundation is, how does the ISD interact with the FSD, the Fire Suppression Department? How do they interact with the Ethics Committee? As far as I know, the Ethics Committee is probably has some sort of right over the ISD and the FSD, seeing as they are the ones who decide if things are ethical or not. In the ISD Internal Affairs tale, nothing is mentioned about either the Ethics Committee or the Foundation. So, the IS Fire Suppression Department has a wider scope of mission because they're handling all sorts of matters, whereas the ISD is more dealing with security and traders to the Foundation. Yes, I would go through the database entries for the Ethics Committee, the Fire Suppression Department, and the Internal Security Department, because obviously, depending on your universe or canon, so to speak, there is no canon, the different security departments of the Foundation might interchange, work together, exchange information, be completely separate, might be the same department. Some universes might not have an ISD, but they have an FSD, or vice versa. It's very hard to keep track of. Intern Artemis, thank you for your first donation to today's stream. Grab yourself a waffle on your way past the commissary. I hope someday you get to see my original work. It would be a privilege. Well, if you're talking about an SCP article, then I hope it ends up on the database soon. If it's a fan art of some sort, then I also hope to see it soon. Make art. That's what matters. I look forward to seeing it once it's made. Intern Frost, thank you for donating again to say. Leaving the site for a bit, gotta help a friend get out of IKEA. Thank God I can teleport. Uzi would be mad if N wasn't back. Now, we do know that teleporters cannot teleport in and out of the infinite IKEA. They still have to use the door. unless they are specifically universe jumpers. Some teleportation takes place within one universe, and some teleportation can be universe to universe. So you would have to be a universe jumper to go in and out of the infinite IKEA. But if it's a regular IKEA, then you can just be a spatial jumper and still be fine. Oh, we are 5 minutes over time, 6 minutes over time. Well, we made it to the end of today's stream, and as I have done traditionally at the end of stream, I will tell you guys my favorite SCPs. But I'm not going to say the ones I personally wrote are my favorites. That's narcissism. We're not going to do that. But if you want to read the SCPs I wrote, you can go to the Sherm's author page in Site-42 Hub on the SCP database. There you can read the SCPs I personally wrote, as well as contributed voice lines, sound effects too. And while you're on the database, one tab over, you'll find a list of links. Links that people are often looking for, but they just don't know where to find them because they don't listen to the hints. But that's not you guys. You guys are clever. You'll find those links. And when you do, you'll be able to become a Patreon patron or YouTube channel member to donate to us monthly. You can do a Ko-Fi or a YouTube Super Chat to donate one at a time. Or, most importantly for this month to support the channel, you can get the Dr. Sherman Site Director Edition plushie. 15 days left, and then the orders close forever. So order yours now before it's too late. However you choose, whether it's donations or merch, we greatly appreciate you supporting Site-42. Your generosity helps me keep the lights on for myself as well as the rest of our staff, especially in this crazy, crazy world of dramatic events, terrible events, cost-cutting budgetary concerns from the overseers, the whole 9 yards. So we appreciate you greatly. And also, if you are not able to donate to us financially or get merch, you are still valid. You are still helpful. Trust me. We understand starving artists. We are an arts community. But you can jump on and be a member of Mobile Task Force Site-42, codename the Signal Boosters. When you like, share, subscribe, comment, chat, not just to our videos, our streams, but also to the SCP authors' articles and tales, to the game devs, the filmmakers, the merch makers. Welcome back, Puppy of Interest 42. We're talking about art. Are you very excited? Did you have good exercise? I can't pick you up if you hide in that little corner. You silly baby. So excited. So excited. So excited. Puppy of Interest 42 has made it back, has had good exercise, is very, very excited. Treat from the chat. Away, Puppy of Interest 42. Agent Charlemagne is making noises of wanting attention as well. Hello, Agent Charlemagne. You are long. You are strong. Debatable about how down you are to get a friction on, though. Sir Mix-a-Lot will have words about that. But the best dancer in Site-42 by far. I know. Very good. As we were. Support the SCP community with us. That makes you a member of Mobile Task Force Site-42 coding Signal Boosters. That's how we get bigger and better SCP films and games, and we appreciate your service. Your service? Intern Frost, thank you for donating again during the outro to say, all right, you got me, I'm a Dimension Traveler, but still got to go, I'll be back. Duly noted. Intern Artemis, thank you for sending me a super chat to tell me about a tweet. Much obliged. Ah, you're making an original work that is not within the SCP community. I see. Well, we'll have to see what that is when you make it. Oh. Very nice cat DJ, Dr. John. Very nice cat DJ. Looks a lot like Agent Charlemagne. Also 100 stars. Thank you for sending 100s to the chat. I'm sure they will keep it 3 times as 100 at your urging. Intern East, thank you for sending sunshine to the Containment Hazard Assessment team. I am sure they will be warmed and get their filling of vitamin D for the day, thanks to you. Creepypasta George Harrison, thank you for your 2 months as a mobile task force captain here at Site-42. We appreciate your membership and your service. Which fate is worse, a day with SCP-729 -J? Would you believe that we almost made it the entire stream without that fucking thing showing up? Or eating SCP-666.5-J. Oh, the fires of hell from one's anus. The mushroom entree, the stuffed mushroom entree that gave everybody severe digestive distress. The answer is that abomination peep is the worst, but 666.5-J is a close second. Dr. John Smith, thank you for sending the Turn It Up Cat Disco. Okay. I'm okay. So, Site-42 staff, without further ado, my favorite SCPs in no particular order are SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, SCP-5320, and SCP-8980. Content warning on that last one. It is a pretty rough read. Speed round. 399-304-308-J, Spooky-J, 5031, content warning on the last one's a rough read. Site-42 staff, this has been another After Hours at Site-42, a subsidiary of the anomalous broadcast from Site-42. I hope you had fun. I hope you learned something. Be safe, be well, and as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you at the next video or stream. How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that doggy's for sale. The credit song is How Much Is That Doggy in the Window by Patty Page. Be safe, be well, Site-42 staff. Thank you for the last minute 100, Intern East. I'm sure the chat will keep it 100 for the rest of the day. Thanks to your urging. Be safe, be well, Site-42 staff. And as always, secure, contain, protect. I'll see you in the next video or stream.